name's Andrew Gaffney with Retail Touchpoints. I'm here at the NRF Big Show, and I'm joined by Phil Curnow with PCMS and Matt Clifton with Waitrose. Appreciate you guys making time for me today. Matt, if you would start, Waitrose is a very significant grocer in the UK. Some of our viewers in North America may not be familiar with it. Would you mind just giving some background on sort of the size and scope and position?
Yeah, certainly. So we're a UK-based food grocery retailer. We've got 350 stores just in the UK. We take about £7 billion in sales per annum. So depending on the dollar rate, well, I'd have said 10 billion normally, but probably it's about 7 billion at the moment.
Right.
So not so good.
Awesome. Phil, talk a little bit about the relationship, how long you guys have been working with Waitrose and sort of how the relationship has evolved.
So PCMS has been working with Waitrose for at least 15 years. I mean, their existing POS estate was there. But about 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, as a collaboration, we made a decision to move forward and move away from just standard POS and go into a proper commerce platform. And we've been collaborating in and around that and opening up new services for the last 4 or 5 years.
What's been some of the biggest values you've seen from the relationship?
So you've got to have an underpinning great technical solution, right? That's the absolute starter. But the biggest value is actually driven from the collaboration, the communication, and the way we work together. Because without that, actually, you get to probably an old style, very traditional retailer saying what they want and how they want it done, supplier going away and doing it. That just doesn't work, and you don't extract the maximum value that way.
And that's something we try to inject as a philosophy right across our delivery teams, is that we're breaking down that old model, because to move at the pace we want to, particularly for retail, you have to collaborate, you have to understand that you've got one team with one shared vision, and you've got to play your own parts in that. Yeah. So, Matt and I have been working together for 4 years plus on this, and that Matt creates these business ideas and I come up with the technology solutions.
That's great. Now, specific to some of the technology you've implemented, you've got a real reputation for some of your advancements in mobile. Yeah. Can you talk about some of the work you've done and maybe what you have in mind for down the road?
Certainly. So we really have been focusing on mobile, both served and self-served, for a number of years. And that's mainly because we see payment as being part of 3 things. It's got to have an underpinning of security. The customer's got to trust that their card details are safe with you. But above that, it's about ease and it's about choice. So we always want to make sure that we're giving our customers a choice of, they want a manned till, they want a fixed till, they want a mobile till, they want to pay by cash, they want to pay by card. And as part of that sort of end-to-end criteria, the bits that we felt we had quite a gap around probably 5 to 7 years ago was about mobile self-scanning that the customers can do on their own phone or on one of our handsets. So that's where we've really focused. We think it adds massive value. Customers are able to to scan as they shop and then pack as they go, so they're not getting to a traditional checkout and having to pack everything, they're doing it as they go. They're able to see the cost of the products as they go, so they're building their basket, they can see how much they're spending, so a lot of our customers use it as a budgeting tool. Now traditionally we'd have probably thought that was a bad thing and that it would constrain spend. Actually what we see is people without it tend to spend less. So you get it, they spend up to their budget, which is great, and customers just find, particularly for people who are time poor, that ability to not have to worry about waiting to check out at the end is brilliant. We've got 40% of our transactions are self-served, wow, of which 6 to 7% of customers doing it on a self-scan handset, but it drives a huge additional value in terms of the value of the sales of that 6%.
So Waitrose have got a long history in those kind of mobile solutions, and the quick check solution itself is more than 20 years old. It predates even PCMS. But it was always built as a separate set of services. It had its own prices, had its own rules, had its own engine, had its own promotions engine. The cost of keeping that in line and in line with the store experience was, it's large. Now when it was implemented, that was the technologies that were there. Now we can use it, the latest generation. You can use it on your mobile phone, you can use it on a store device. All of the baskets are priced through a central system and service, the same data set as the tills. So it's always intrinsically tied together. The thing that I'm most proud of in the last 4 or 5 years that we've been working together is I can now go into my local Waitrose, I can take out my mobile phone, scan my basket, scan my products, go to the end and pay with Google Pay or Apple Pay. All of that's underpinned by services. It's different companies, it's different organizations, but it's all underpinned by PCMS services. That then means I can walk out but never take my wallet out of my pocket, get my loyalty, get my discounts, get my benefits, and use the latest payments technologies. It's an incredible thing to do. And that's not just in 1 or 2 trial stores, is it, Matt? That's across the whole 350.
Across all 350 of our stores. And you know, what we like to think is payment should never be a reason why customers shop with Waitrose, but it absolutely mustn't be the reason they don't shop with us. So, you know, we have a real focus on quality of food and great customer service, and we think actually, you know, that can be done through our employees directly engaging, but it can also be done remotely without any employee engagement if that's what the customer wants.
Yeah, which is where it seems to be heading.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with that real focus on customer service and excellence, you've had a focus on being able to test and deploy really rapidly to bring more advancements to the customer. Can you talk about that approach?
Yeah, so I mean, Phil referred to it, that ability to be really agile in the way that we spin up test and learns and proof of concepts. Because we work so collaboratively together, having a really good, quick understanding of the outcomes we're trying to test, be able to spin it up using those, the technology platform that Phil be able to speak about far more eloquently than I, but be able to see the results, adjust, refine, get the customer feedback, get the partner feedback, and because of that collaborative work, you'll be able to then just.
And it's like there's no substitute for sitting together in a room around an idea and finding ways to make it happen. And actually, you get a lot of spin-offs and additional benefits that you don't think are going to come up, you know. But it is that one team collaborating together, one single vision, one single question that we both address. We don't go away and come up with something clever and then deliver it. You go back 15, 20 years, it's where the industry was. Now it is about, we've got one team and a team that work well together. We roll people in and out as we need to, but all the way through there's a core of people who say, you know what, this is what we're committed to doing together.
And the key is being really clear what that outcome is and jointly sticking to it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that's where if you diverge, you begin to lose that, effect.
You've talked about it already, but can you just sort of kind of put a final thought on how the services and overall approaches help to deliver consistent pricing, a more consistent experience for the customer?
Absolutely, and done in a cheaper way for us. So Phil, absolutely right. We used to have our e-commerce platform, its own basket pricing, our self-scan, and our man tills. Just the effort and the time to both try to keep it accurate, probably fail to keep it accurate, and then maintain that.
Yeah.
It's a huge OPEX cost. Ability to move it to once and call out. It's a headless commerce. It's, I think,
the headless commerce platform is what we do. It's what we now do. We can still support the old POS systems, but it is about surfacing those things that you can then consume that service. You can take it. That we're now in a position with Waitrose where the quick check solution, which is the self-scanning, the tools they use for in-branch picking, where they're fulfilling orders and online orders, and the tills, and increasingly now the website, I think, is just about to come onto that. Using a single basket build, single pricing service, we can surface that through anywhere and anybody. And we love working and collaborating with those other partners. The quick check solution may not be a wholly PCMS thing, but it's underpinned by our services. And we learn things on that journey working with those suppliers as well.
That's awesome. It sounds like a really great partnership, and I appreciate you both walking us through it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.